Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Dices, and this is the NNN Show. It's been nearly a couple of weeks since we've had a little episode, a bit of a quiet time to talk about things, and it has been very busy for November. A lot of big games coming out. Super Mario Odyssey, obviously, has come out in the last couple of weeks. But here comes all the big games that are coming out for November, and I feel like it's time for Nintendo fans to support these games because the games like Doom and Skyrim, Rocket League. Let's have a look at the stuff that is coming out this month. You've got LA Nora, we have Rim, we have Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. We also have all those type of games that's coming out, and I do feel like that it's time for the Nintendo fans to sort of stand up and support these games because we always knew that Nintendo consoles had the great Nintendo games, and the indie games have been pretty successful, obviously on the Switch, but they've also been pretty successful on the Nintendo 3DS and I guess on the Wii U to a certain extent. So what my thinking is that there's always been this sort of vibe that Nintendo fans don't buy non-Nintendo games, and they've never really been like that. But I feel like they have once upon a time back in the Super Nintendo days and the N64 before third-party developers decided to, give Nintendo the flick because we kept the cartridges during the Nintendo 64 era, how they kept a monopoly during the NES and Super Nintendo days, and I guess that explains some of the old ways of Nintendo doing things. Now they're a lot more open. The Switch is easier to make games for, and it has been very, very successful. So I really do feel like it's time to get out there and just buy Doom, get Skyrim, get all these big sort of third party games that's coming out. And I will be getting Skyrim, my little pick, and I'll probably get Doom later on next year. So I feel like that is something important. And some people go, I'm just going to get the Nintendo games. But do try out the eShop. Do look around for indie games and these big games because they'll be obviously looking at these numbers of sales and they'll be going, is the Switch worth it after, releasing these older games and the sales are poor. Now, if people buy them out and the sales are good, then we'll go from that stage of getting AAA games a little later than the other consoles to probably getting them on the same day, which I think is probably the ultimate goal, is to get those big games coming along. Now, there's obviously companies like EA and Capcom who were late on the train, and their commitment is pretty flaky at the moment. But I say that the more and more the Switch sells and does well, then I think maybe they will eventually get on board with the Nintendo Switch. But I'm hoping that things will improve and that things will work out. So I will be buying the third-party content stuff. I think I always have. I've always sort of kept a mix of, Nintendo and third-party stuff. I do enjoy the eShop on the Switch. There's a lot of great games on it. You should have a look. Just pick out stuff that you like. And now with the specials page, price cuts and discounts and that, I've noticed that a lot of developers and companies are now cutting their prices of their games by about 10 to 20% to sort of get their game to show on that different page and people buy them up. So that will be a very useful feature for people who own the Nintendo Switch. So hopefully things will work out. But on other news, Nintendo Ninja News is doing all right. We're having a really big month so far. I'm pretty happy with things. There will be Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon unboxing stuff. There will also be the Skyrim game. We'll do a review. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which will be the last game I think I'll be getting for the year quite a while. And also, I'm looking into getting Rocket League. So just got to find out the price and when I can actually pick that up. But there's some great games coming out, and just give it a try. Give it a try. Heck, there is even some stores that have a 7-day return or 10-day return or something like that. So you can always give it a go. And if you don't like it, you can send it back or sell it on or something like that. So the big games are coming into the Nintendo Switch. The question is, will you support that or not? It's going to be interesting. That's it for me and for the NNN Show. It's a bit of a short one, but I'll see you later on.